The Dancing Shoes. A king once had 12 daughters, and one was just as beautiful as another. These 12 beautiful daughters all slept in the large hall of the castle, where their beds stood side by side. Every night the door to the hall was locked and bolted by the king himself. Now each princess had a pair of dancing shoes, which were to be worn when the king gave a ball. But it happened that no matter how many new pairs of dancing shoes he gave to his daughters, the next morning when he unlocked the door, he found the shoes all worn out and full of holes. There was not a wise man in the kingdom who could think how it happened, for all the windows and doors were so carefully bolted that no one could get out of the castle. At last, the king said that whoever would find where his daughters went in the night to dance and how they got out of the room should have one of them for his wife. But the king also said that if anyone tried for 3 nights and then could not tell the secret of the worn out shoes, he should give up his life. It was not long before a prince came to the kingdom who wished to try to find out the secret. That night, the young man was placed in a room near the hall where the maidens slept, and a door was left open so that he could follow them if they should go away to dance. As soon as the prince lay down, it seemed as if lead had been placed on his eyelids. He could not keep awake, and in the morning the dancing shoes were worn out even more than usual. The second and the third night, the same thing happened, and then the prince was put to death without the least pity. Even this did not keep other young men from trying, but they all lost their lives. Now it happened that a poor soldier who had been wounded and could not serve any longer in the army was on his way to the town where the king and his daughters lived. When he met an old woman, "Why are you going to the town?" she asked. "I don't know," he answered. "But if I have no better luck, I may try to find where the king's daughters go every night to wear out their slippers." "That is not so very hard," said the old woman. "All you will have to do is to keep awake, and if you do not drink the wine which they will try to give you, you will have no trouble." Then, taking a little cloak from under her shawl, she said, "Here, I will give you this cloak, for I have no further use for it. Whenever you throw it over your shoulders, it will make you invisible. With its aid, you can easily follow the king's daughters as they go to their dance." Her good wishes gave the soldier courage, so he at once went before the king and told him he should like to try to find out the secret of the dancing shoes. The king was glad to see the soldier, who in the evening at bedtime was led to the little room. When the king's daughters went to bed, the eldest brought to him a goblet of wine. But the soldier had tied a piece of sponge under his chin, so that as he put the cup to his lips, the wine all ran into the sponge, and he did not drink a drop. Then he lay down, and after a little while began to snore as if he were fast asleep. When the 12 maidens heard him snoring, they began to laugh, and the eldest said, "There is another goose who does not care for his life." Then the maidens arose, put on their most beautiful dresses, and danced about for joy. All except the youngest, who said, "I don't know why it is, but I feel as if something were going to happen." "You are always afraid," cried the eldest daughter. "Do you think that after we have fooled so many kings' sons, we shall not be able to take care of this stupid soldier?" When the princesses were all ready, they came in and looked at the man, but he had his eyes closed tight and he did not move. So they thought that he was surely sound asleep. Then the eldest daughter went up to her bed and struck it gently. All at once it began to sink down into the earth. Down, down it went until a flight of stairs was seen leading into the darkness. As the daughters of the king, one by one, went down the stairs, the soldier jumped out of bed, threw on his magic cloak, and followed them. About halfway down, he trod lightly on the dress of the youngest princess, which so frightened her that she cried aloud, "What was that? Who was pulling my dress?" "Don't be foolish," said the eldest daughter. "Your dress must have caught on a hook or something of that kind." When they came to the bottom of the stairs, the soldier saw bright green fields through which ran a road with beautiful shady trees on either side. The trees had silver leaves which shone and sparkled in the light of many tiny lamps. "Well," thought the soldier, "I must take a proof of all this to the king." So he broke off a branch with its sparkling leaves. As he did this, the branch gave such a crack that the youngest princess cried, "I'm sure there is something wrong. Did you hear that noise?" "That was nothing," said the eldest sister, "but a gun fired in our honor by the princess." They went on until they came to another street where the trees had leaves of gold, and still farther on they came to a third street where the leaves sparkled with diamonds. From each of these trees the soldier broke off branches, and the youngest daughter, when she heard them crack, was again afraid. But the eldest sister still thought they were nothing but guns. Before long they came to the shore of a lake, on which lay 12 pretty little boats, and in each boat sat a handsome young prince. As the 12 maidens came up, they took seats in the 12 little boats. Now the soldier, all unseen, took his seat in the boat with the youngest princess. When the prince roved away, he said, "I do not see why this boat should be so hard to row. I cannot keep up with the rest." "Perhaps you are not as strong as they," answered the princess. And the prince said no more. The soldier now saw before him on the other side of the lake a splendid castle, bright with lights, and he heard strains of sweet music coming over the water. When all had landed, they went to the ballroom, where the maidens were soon dancing with life and spirit. The soldier, wearing his little cloak, danced among them unseen, and often when a glass of wine was brought and placed on the table, he would drink it, while no one was looking. The glass was found empty so often that the youngest princess could not help feeling that something was wrong, but the others only made fun of her. The maidens danced and danced until all their shoes were quite worn out. Then the princess rowed them back again over the lake, and the soldier went as before unseen. As soon as they reached the shore, the soldier jumped out, ran quickly up the stairway to his room, and leaped into bed. When the maidens came slowly up the stairs, they all heard him snoring loudly, and the eldest said, "At least there is no danger from him." So they took off their beautiful clothes and soon were fast asleep. Now the soldier did not say a word of what he had seen, for he wished to go again to hear the music and see the beautiful castle across the lake. So he went with the 12 princesses on the second night and again on the third night, and each time they danced until their shoes were quite worn out. On the third night, the soldier took a golden cup as further proof of what he had seen. The next morning, the soldier came before the king, bearing the 3 branches which he had broken off and the golden cup. The king then said, "How is it, sir, that my daughters have worn out their dancing shoes each night while you have been watching?" "By dancing with 12 princes," answered the soldier, "in a castle built under the ground." Then the soldier told the king all he had seen and gave him as proof the three branches and the golden cup. When he had heard the soldier's story, the king sent for his daughters and asked them if what the soldier had said was true. They saw at once that they had been found out, and they could deny nothing. Then the king asked the soldier which one of the 12 princesses he would take for his wife. And the soldier answered, "As I am no longer young, I will take your eldest daughter." So the soldier married the eldest princess, and when her father died, he himself became ruler over the whole kingdom.